Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, August 14th, and we are looking at the last 3 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And the old saying that traders will do its work till it doesn't work anymore held true tremendously this week. I had a good week, did not have a good day for a trade I did late in the day, and that's shame on me because that saying I gave you, I should have known what was coming. I actually said it in the room earlier. I wouldn't doubt if what we've done the last 4 days, they do again today. Again, they pushed it further than I thought, got out of it at the wrong time because it rallied tremendously in like the last 5 to 7 minutes where I actually would have been green most likely. But again, shame on me when I let these algos do those things. We go out with a poor high. We go out with a POC that at least for SPY was not lowered. And I know the ES was. SPY could never get lowered. It stayed at eyes low. So just like yesterday and whenever the other day was when it couldn't get lowered on Tuesday, the 11th, it's amazing how these algos set themselves and how short-term traders are absolutely run this market. 46 million shares. 46 million. Now, we didn't have an inside day, but we didn't take out the low of the day to end period. So we go out with a price probe. But we did close inside of it when it came back in. So it's obviously not an inside day, but I think I will treat this as an inside day on Monday again, even though we did take it out. Again, disappointing on that trade that I took starting in K period, a little disappointing. And based on that, I'm going to say I sucked as a trader on that trade. And the reason I'm saying that is, and I hate doing this, especially on a public forum, but I don't know if this person's listening or if he's, I know he follows me on Twitter or did, but I had somebody private message me, basically a quick line saying, Paul, you're a shitty trader. Well, I was a shitty trader on that trade late in the day. However, if you're going to have the audacity to do something like that, number one, don't do it privately, do it publicly. And number two, have the balls to tell me who you are and to tell me what your problem is with me. I have no problem if, you think I steered you wrong. I'm as honest as can be when I do these videos. He's obviously not in my room, so all he's going off of is whatever videos I do and whatever game plan I give in the morning and afternoon. But again, I don't care if you hate my videos and dislike them. Tell me why you hate them. You think I'm a shitty trader? Great. Tell me why. But have the nerve and the guts to do it to my face and tell me who you are. Okay? If you want, whoever this person is, if you are listening, contact me. I'll trade with you dollar for dollar. Okay? And let me know when you want to start. Okay. I apologize for doing that, but hopefully he sees that. Okay, so let's go to my trades today. I didn't take many, and the ones I took early in B, E, and H all worked out. And again, it wasn't for a lot of money. This market, this is a horrible market for me to try to trade. If we faded the highs every day this week, you could have probably retired. So shame on me that I didn't do that. And it shows you that I was obviously slightly leaning long bias, thinking we would finally get the all-time high. So the first trade I took was in B period when we took out A's high to start one-time framing up, looking for M's high. We didn't get it, but it still was a good trade. It held the opening, and it was a 336 call, and I did well on it. Then in E period, I did fade. It this time. It was right at M's high. I bought the 338 put, and I took it back down. Again, nothing spectacular, but it was a good trade. And again, in H period, I actually played innovator again. I did it right before we took out G's low. And the reason I did that, we were one-time framing up for 7 time frames. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 7. But what were they getting for their efforts? We had a chance for a trend day up. It failed. So they were getting nothing for their efforts. So I said at some point, they're going to give it up. And that's what they did. So that was a good trade. Now, I'm looking for the afternoon pullback low. Well, we didn't get much in H. In fact, what I took off wasn't even everything. I took off the rest when it started going higher because I knew I wasn't going to get much. Then I goes up, J goes up, poor high, K now decides, J comes down, K comes down. I'm like, okay, we're 9 wide up here. We raised the POC twice today. Value is overlapping to lower, but it's acting okay. We held the low this morning. We haven't seen the opening, so I started a long position in K. Added to it in L, and you know the whole game. Now, I wasn't big to start, wasn't big at all, but obviously I played the 336 calls that expired today, and I think I started buying them at 70 cents. It was around 70. I bought them at 70, 50, 40, you name it. If they went up a little bit, I took some off. Well, lo and behold, you saw what happened in M. We go with a price probe. I got disgusted with myself. I said, enough's enough. Took them off at basically the low of the day, which is the option was around 30 cents, only to see it go from 30 to 90 cents. So not only did they punish me for being long from here down, they punished me when I took it off. And again, that's a shitty trade. So yeah, I'm a shitty trader on that trade. Boy, do I. And at least I admit when I make poor trades here on Twitter. Very few people do that, if any. So that cost me what I was up and more. So I lost on the day, but I had a good week overall. Okay. And the webinar, I had a bunch of people sign up from outside the room, so I'm happy to see that. Yeah, obviously you can still sign up through tonight. Please don't do it early tomorrow. I'll be running around getting things ready, so if you do have an interest, please sign up by tonight. All right, destinations for Monday. So we went out with a price probe. So A's low of 333, not 333, I'm losing my mind. A's low of 330, not A's low, it's L's low. That's the price probe. 335. I wrote 333. Maybe that's an omen. L's low of 335.85 is the price probe because that's when we made a new low in the last time frame. Okay? Then we have 9 wide all the way up at 337.02, and we closed at 336.84. So we don't know if it's accepted or rejected L's low till Monday, but we did close $1 above it. Then above the 9 wide, we have today's high of 337.42, which is also a poor high. Then we have 337.92, 9 wide from yesterday, 338.25 daily high, and 338.28 weekly high. For the downside, we have today's low of 335.62, 335.43 daily low. Then we have 332.01, which is now a weekly low. And then we have 331.13, that daily low below us, and 330.06, filling the gap, 107-point gap from August 5th. Let's go to the charts. So monthly, halfway through the month, it's extremely healthy. One time framing up. Again, there's nothing standing in the way to the all-time high. Weekly, same thing. One time framing up 6 weeks. Both the monthly gaps holding, the weekly gaps holding, and we closed above last week's high. So we're still healthy. Okay? All-time high in sight. Daily is the issue, right? We're in balance. Having trouble coming out of it. Volume is horrible. Remember, these aren't sellers that are pushing the market down each day from the daily high. It's just the week longs that are getting out, and then shorts that push down and try to pile on. And that's what they did again today. Right? We had P-shapes form in the last couple of days before that got flushed out. So the daily is the big one. I'm going to basically treat this as an inside day again. So we'll see how we come out of it. If we come out of it to the downside, you might test this week's low, and that's the dangerous part because now let's go back to the weekly. We're one time framing up 6 weeks. It's still very healthy, but if we fail on that daily and we take out last week's low, it's going to put us back into balance. Now, is that the worst thing in the world? No, it's not. It's not. I told you the thing that the bulls, I think, need to hold is the 327, 330 level. If they hold that, the all-time high should fall. If we get accepted below that level, then things will change for me. It's just utterly amazing that we got so close all week and failed to do it. It truly is amazing. And then real quickly, let's look at the Russell and the triple Qs. So triple Qs end in a 2-week balance. Monthly still up, but it's a 2-week balance. And then the daily, again, I'm going to say is balance. Yep. So remember, markets don't go bull bear. They go bull balance. We've been going bull balance the whole way here. Well, we have balance again. Do we continue bull next week? Do we balance next week, or do we come out of balance to the downside? It remains to be seen. And on the Russell, we had an inside day, a double inside day down. Well, let's look at the weekly first. The weekly, not a very pretty candle, although we did close above last week's high. But we had an inside day 2 days in a row, came out of it to the downside, but really didn't get much for it, and then came back into it. So it's just pure balance for 5 days. So maybe they're just resting. So if it's just a rest, you want to see them take out this week's high and continue higher. If you take out this week's low, you're going to see the low 150s. I hope you had a good day trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. It's an awesome group, and boy, is it growing. I've had about 12 people join in just the last 2 days alone. Come try and join us for the webinar tomorrow. If you can't join us, you can still get the recording afterwards for the same money, $20 if you would like it. Have a great weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.